Hey everybody, this is Ricky's Rockin' Reviews back here with another haul video. I just scored a pretty good deal on eBay. I made a deal with this seller and I got a bunch of books in this package here I'm about to pull out. Not the best packaging, but this is a sci-fi haul. All these are kind of in the sci-fi genre. And they were just kind of shoved in this bag. But the reason I made the deal, even though these are books that I could probably find anywhere, most of these I could find anywhere, was because they were in such great condition. So comes in a Kirkland box, which are pretty damn strong. So hopefully these didn't suffer anything. And they look generally okay. All right, let's see. First order that I got together, which is really cool, is The Sparrow by Mary Russell. This is supposed to be a classic novel of encountering extraterrestrial life, and what does that mean for us here on Earth, and especially what does that mean for us who have a faith in God, and how that changes our perception of our faith and the trajectory in which we go. I purposely don't know too much about this. I'm pretty spiritual in my life, and I'm Catholic, and I really want to see, where this goes. I think that's super intriguing. Not only is this a famous piece of literature, it's also got a sequel, which is called Children of God. So I can't wait to see where these go, and if this changes my outlook on anything, or if it makes me think about questions that I haven't thought of before, even though I'm like super fascinated in aliens, extraterrestrial life, and potential intelligence out there. I'd like to think we're not alone, but how does that come into conflict with what we believe in and what we've been taught from the Bible and stuff like that? So that's just super interesting. And then the other four that I got, I initially got those together, but I kind of bundled everything together from another listing this guy had. And so I got these books here. I got these books here, and they look really cool as far as their condition goes, and the actual like cover art, which I really liked. This one, I really liked iRobot. I don't think I've ever seen this one before. This is from Isaac Asimov. What can I say about this one? This is just like a landmark, iconic piece of sci-fi literature, which I haven't read yet. And he was a very prolific writer. He wrote tons of books. So I'm sure there's other collections and stuff, but I really just like the way this one looks on its own. And so if I have to double dip on something else, that's fine. But I've always wanted to read this, and I think one of the most intriguing things about this is that it has I'm familiar with the 3 laws of robots, and I think that's just a really cool way to pull you in. Once you establish these rules for robots, how does the conflict come about? I'm just really fascinated with this, and this is a really cool addition. And see if it has any cool forwards or anything like that. It has notes about his other stuff, like the Foundation novels and his other robot novels. I think what comes after this is Caves of Steel, The Naked Sun, and Robots of Dawn. Looks like it has 9 chapters. This is going to be high on my TBR list. I want to read this one. We have The Forever War. This is a really cool cover, and it's by Joe Heldman. This tells a story, or this presents the conflict of, if you leave Earth and you have to go, really far away, like light years away, with the whole way that time dilation works, when you come back to Earth, what Earth are you coming back to? Because time has moved forward on Earth like significantly. So what does that present? I know that there's supposed to be like an alien enemy that they're fighting off-world, and so coming back, is there another struggle that they're coming back to that they didn't think of? I believe that's kind of what this is about. I'm purposely, again, not trying to read too much into this because I want to be surprised by any plot twists or any nuances in the book. So that seems really cool as well. And I also got Gateway, which is the beginning of I think it's the He-Chi series by Frederick Pohl, or I think that's how you say it. So here we have a story about spaceships that are left behind by this alien race called the He-Chi. And as I know that it's not going to go into specifics as to why these were left behind. It's kind of a mystery that might be discussed later on in future books. But I've heard that this kind of stands alone. And so basically we have this premise where these ships that are left behind, this equipment that's left behind, humans are eventually able to use them. However, they're not able to navigate once they're using these ships. And so they could end up anywhere. And they take this chance because in some of the voyages, they're able to find some like $1 billion like super profitable endeavors. And so when people go onto these, or people travel through these gateways, they have a potential of coming back filthy rich. And do people take that chance? We follow this character who has gone through something traumatic after making it big, somehow, some way, through a voyage or through some expedition through these gateways and using these ships. And so part of it is telling that story, and then another part is him going to a psychiatrist and talking about the trauma. Whatever it is, it's a mystery as to what happened to him. And so, I mean, that's just a really good draw, or it draws me in at least. So I'm really excited to read this. And if I like it enough, and if I like the flavor, and if I feel that that finding out more to this story and piecing together the history of the He-Chi and how the story moves forward from this, I'll get into the actual series. I think there's like 5 books. So that's Gateway. And the last book I have here is called Replay, which has a tagline that says, "What if you could live your life over again and again and again?" So we have this story about this guy who's in somehow, some way, after having after being in the tedium of marriage and life, he's able to get a second chance at his life by replaying. He goes back in time. He's able to go back in time and make different decisions, so on and so forth. I think he meets someone else that has this ability as well. I'm not sure if it's his wife or a stranger, but they have to reconcile with this strange ability that they have that they don't have any control of. And if I'm not mistaken, every time they go back, they're having fewer and fewer space in between their present and the time they go back to. So their ability to replay is dwindling down, the more they do it. So that seems kind of fascinating to me. Almost kind of reminds me of like a more mature and probably more nuanced version of the Midnight Library, which I read earlier this year, which was okay. But this seems really cool. I wonder where they'll go with this. And yeah, I thought these were all really cool. So the reason I jumped on these and made this deal was because altogether, everything that I got here, every book averaged out to $3.81. So I think that's not bad at all. I'm pretty excited to grow my sci-fi library. I don't have that many sci-fi. I have a ton of like superhero prose novels like Marvel and DC. I have tons of horror novels, and I have westerns. I have like hard case crime, like true crime stuff, and then just some like miscellaneous fiction, as well as classic literature. But sci-fi, I definitely needed to boost up what I got on my shelf. So this is what I got, and I'm really excited to see when I'm able to get through them. I have a plan for 2024, kind of. So we'll see how I do. All right, guys, I would really appreciate it if you guys could like and subscribe. Also, leave any comments of anything you've read in this stack, if you recommend anything else. and maybe what I should start with. We'll catch you guys later. Thank you guys. And also follow me on Instagram.